Hi, good evening. I see you have joined. Let's wait a few more minutes and then get some other people on board and then we can start. If you don't mind sharing, kindly share the link with your friends and family. Let's see if we can start when we have about 10 people on board. Thank you. Okay, guys, we'll start very soon. We'll start in about, let's say 5 minutes. We'll start in about 5 minutes. So keep being online, keep being connected. We'll start in about 5 minutes. Thank you. Hi everyone. Yeah, so as mentioned earlier, we are starting our live sessions. We are starting our online sessions now. And all right, so I mentioned we were going to start from the basics, and so here we are. We have our crystals. For those of us who know a bit about beads, this is called a crystal. I mean, those of us who don't know anything about beads at all. So these beads are called crystals, and this is size 6 crystals. And then we have these beads here. These are bicorns. And this is also size, I think this is size 6 as well. This is size 6 of bicorns. And then we have seed beads over here. We have seed beads over here. Apologies, guys. I'm trying to get someone to help me do this. I'm trying to get someone to hold the camera for me, but it's proven to be very difficult. That's why I had to make us wait a bit to be able to start, but time is also running out, so I just thought we should start anyway. Yeah, so this is seed beads. For those of us who don't know what beads are, please, these are called seed beads, and that's how they come packed. They come in packages like this. And then for the bicorns and crystals, that's how also they come. They come in strips like this. So if you want to buy for anything, you buy them in strips. So if you want one strip, they can sell to you 2, 3. It can be sold to you. Yeah, so this, I think these are 50 strips, 50 lines. I'm coming to use it for a work. So these are 50 lines. And then the crystals I mentioned earlier, this is also how it comes out. It comes out just like the way the bicorns are. And you can buy them in lines like this. It comes at different prices at different places, so I can't mention any price to you. And this is YouTube, and the people on here might not only be Ghanaian, so I can't mention any fixed amount to you. But in Ghana, Accra to be precise, if you want to get this to buy, you just go to Makola. It's very easy to get. Go to Makola, look for any bead shop at all, and say you want crystals. You get crystals. It comes in different colors and different shapes. So this is usually the ones we use for the beadwork. And there's a smaller size of this. That one is size 4. So usually those size 4 are used alongside size 6 of bicorns. Those size 4 are used alongside this, and then they both are used for beading. This size is also used for beading. This size is also used for beading. But when you use the bigger size, your clothing are going to be very heavy. So usually it's advised to not use it. And then back to our seed beads, I was talking about it earlier. This is also, I think this is size 6 of seed beads. Yeah. You can use this for beading as well. But I personally don't use this for beading. I don't use it often. Let me say that. I don't use it often. Yeah. And then we have this as well. These are also called these are also seed beads. Yeah, these are also seed beads. Okay, initially I was thinking it's is it sugar beads or something? Yeah, I'm not too sure about the name. I would remember and say it later. But there are some beads that look like this, and those ones are very slim and sharp on the edges. But that's not it over here. These are also seed beads, and this is size 2. As for the sizes there, people would have to help me at some point because I don't keep them in mind like that. I just use the ones I use often. So yeah, so these are also seed beads, and these ones are usually used for fringes. So if you sew or you are someone who knows these things, you know what fringes are. Fringes that usually are used for, you know, those dresses that Oshana as a ahoma ahoma sensei muno. those kind of dresses and those things that are sold and homa might be ubeto now pamashata and all that now. This can be used for those kind of jobs. Say beaded worker that as a beads same mono. Yes, this can be used very easily because it's cheaper compared to the crystals and the bicons. It's cheaper compared to them, but then they can also give you the look you want if you want the fringes. Yeah, so these are fringes. And then we have pearls. Pearls, I just carried this one. I didn't want to overwhelm you guys this afternoon. So these are pearls. Pearls, they also come in sizes, just like the way the crystals, the bicons, the seed beads comes in sizes. Pearls also comes in different sizes. So this is one of the sizes. Usually our mothers wear this. Our mothers wear this often. Yeah, and some young ladies wear this as well. Yeah, so these are pearls. This is the big size, and these are very small size. This is a very small size. It also comes in different colors. Even when you look at these two I have right now, this one is more like off-white. Someone would say off-white, but we will call it ivory. And this is more white. Yeah, like more clear white than the smaller ones. So that's it for the kind of beads I have available this afternoon. And I think these are mostly the kind of beads we use for beading. There is stones as well. There is stones, but I don't have that on my table right now. I don't have that on my table right now. But in our next session, I'll show that to you, and then I'll show you what they can also be used for. They can be used for any kind of beading as well. The stones, I mean, they can be used for any kind of beading. The only difference is that stones are expensive. So if you're using stones for any job at any time, you have to bear the price in mind, so that when you are charging or when you are doing it for yourself, you should know that it's expensive and you will spend more to get it. All right, so the other things you may need whilst beading, you may need your scissors and your needles, so yeah, your scissors and then your needles. I usually use the needles in this container. Because it's easier to use for me. It's easier to use. And then usually when you see people beading, you would see this needle often, this very tiny needle. I even have a thread on it. This very tiny needle is also used, but I personally don't like using this one because it makes my work a bit difficult, so I use the smaller ones. These needles are available as well. Someone will say, what if I have this needle? Yes, you can have this needle, but just bear in mind that the beads have holes in them, and the holes are very small. So you need to use a needle with very tiny head. So this needle, for instance, the head is very big, so it can't go through the bead freely without any hindrance. So I don't use it. So I made someone get me needles, I think somewhere last week, and then this is what the person brought. I was like, no, I don't use this kind of needles. So that's why I have it here. So you see the way this one is. Oh gosh, I really need someone to help me hold this camera. It looks like I'm on my own today. Guys, I'll do better on our next live, right? There's no one around me today, so I'm struggling over here. Hey, okay, I think I got someone to help me. Yay! Who else is as excited as I am? Because there's someone here to help me now. Okay, so you see how tiny the hole of this needle is. You see how tiny this is. You see how tiny this is. Yeah, that's the kind of needle you need when you are beading. You see how tiny the hole is. You can't even see the hole. That's the kind of needle you need when you are beading, because you need to be able to go through the beads. When we start, you would understand what I'm talking about. You need to be able to go through the beads freely, like I'm doing now. I'm going through the bead, or like I'm going through the bead. You need to be able to go through the bead freely. But imagine using this needle. It's not freezer, but yeah. So yeah, so that's it for the needles as well. And then of course you need a container. You can't bead without having your container. I usually tie my stuff so that nobody picks them and misplaces them. So this is my container. You have some needles here that I'll be using to work today. So that's my container. You need your container, a closable one. That way, when you have beads in it and you're not using them, you should be able to close it. But if you don't have a closable one, you can just tie it tightly and then keep it down so that it doesn't pour away. Oh, I'm sorry to our international audience. I just spoke tree. So that when someone touches it, you don't have issues, because beads are very delicate. When you leave beads ajar without having any form of covering for it, you come back and it will be all gone down the drain. Someone will pour it away. You yourself, you can also pour it away. So that's it for the things you need. And then you come to our fishing line. Yeah, I use 0.30 fishing line. I use 0.30. Others use 0.25. But for me, I use 0.30. So for all of my beadworks, 0.30. Unless I am working in tool net. For those of us who don't know what tool is net. So usually those skin nets dresses you see, the net in the dress is called a tool. So we beaders and fashion designers, we call it a tool. So yeah, when I'm doing those kind of works, I use the 0.20 fishing line. But for a normal kente dress, I use the 0.30 fishing line. Yeah. All right, so let's get into today's activity. So we are working on this beautiful kente today. As I mentioned, I was starting from scratch, so that's why I'm doing a lot of explanations and all that. But this is our main focus for today. This is what we are supposed to work on together. Yeah, so this is a client's work. So we won't go through the entire process today. It will be overwhelming for you guys. So we'll just do one or two things and then we can go off the live. I'm supposed to go live for 30 minutes. I don't want to overwhelm you. I keep saying that because I understand how these things work. I don't want to overwhelm you. So yeah, if you look over here, I have orange beads here as well. So this is the bicons. Look at its line on this, the kente. It's looking all lovely already. It hasn't been beaded yet, but then just puts in the beads on its crown. It's making it nice. And that is the purpose of fabric embellishment or surface ornamentation, what we call beading. It's actually called fabric embellishment because you are embellishing a fabric. Even though this is kente, it is still a fabric. So if you are working on this kente, you are working on a fabric. So the main purpose of fabric embellishment is to make it beautiful. If you embellish a fabric and it doesn't become beautiful, then there's no need embellishing it. The whole point is just to make it more beautiful. So this top, on its own is beautiful. Someone can wear this and will still get thumbs up from everybody because this work is very nice. This dress is very nice. When the client brought it to me, I was like, oh wow, you outdid yourself on this dress. That's what I told her. So this dress is very nice, but the beading or the fabric embellishment will make it nicer. So please take note of how this dress looks right now. And then after we are done with the work, after we have done with the beading and everything we have to do with it, and then you look at the after, then you understand why I'm saying that fabric embellishment is supposed to make the work nicer. All right, so we would start. I'm using the bicons, this orange bicons over here, and then this green bicons, because there's some greens in the dress. There's some greens in there, so I'll use this green as well. And then I would use this peach as well for where the design pattern kente is. And then there is the blue black there too. The blue black, I didn't get the exact one I wanted to buy for this work. I didn't get the exact one, so I'm going to try and manage this one. If it doesn't come out how I want it to come out, I would have to go back to town and then look for the exact kind of bits I want for this. And that's one of the things about this work. You may go to town more than once because of one outfit, considering how you want it to come out. I usually like to give off my best when I'm working for someone, because I am looking at getting retaining clients. I'm looking at getting more clients from each work I do. So I give off my best. So if it means going to town 5 times just to get it how the client wants it, I would wonderfully and calmly and peacefully do that. Right, so yeah, we are on it. We are starting. So I'm going to start with this. So we are putting these ones away for now, and I think in the next 2 minutes or 3 minutes we'll be out of this live, because I'm supposed to be live for only 30 minutes. I don't want to overwhelm you with plenty talk. It can be very, very much a lot sometimes. I don't want to overwhelm you, so yeah. So yeah, you pick up your needle, you have your beads poured out, you pick up your needle, as I mentioned earlier, needle with a very small eye that is not as visible as you think it's supposed to be. Then you pull it through like this, but it doesn't end there. With the way the nature of fishing line is very slippery and all that, so you need to be able to hold it into the fabric very well. So for me, I go through the fabric a couple of times, still finding ways to tie a knot. I go through the